This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD Show.
This is episode 141 of the ITintheD Show. If you have not listened, it's basically what do three IT guys from Detroit talk about when they are hanging out. We're going to be talking about my experience this weekend as an Uber driver. We're talking about a couple meetups that we've had.
May God have a mercy on your soul.
Exactly. We got some awesome guests in studio. We got some folks talking about how to rebrand a local nonprofit. We got Scott Kennedy here talking all things Penguicon. Because it's this weekend.
And it's my favorite time.
Good God. We got Dean and Bill in the house talking about an 80s party for a purpose. If you're going to have a charity event, at least make it fun. And we're looking forward to a great show. And Dave, you know what to do.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
You're listening to the IT in the D Show.
Hi, it's Count Chocula, and you're listening to IT in the D. Whatever the hell that is.
Just where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit?
Beyond the sun? Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly.
Come on. Tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
Hi, this is Ralph Macchio, and you're listening to IT in the D Show. Wax on, you know what.
Bob loves it in the can.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Yes, Sensei!
Are we at a break yet?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds?
Nerds. Nerds!
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. The IT in the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear, I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
That's why I like it in the can.
Which kind of scares the shit out of me.
Shut up, Barry.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. I'm a techie. I'm a nerd, fellow podcaster. My favorite podcast is IT in the D.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. It's way too big. We got screwed at the same time. Yeah.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
This is Robert Hayes, the Ted Striker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. Tough guy. Ho!
My name is Michael Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Man. You're listening to IT in the D.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
I'm thinking we need to have a spin-off show just for our intro. We are live in Podcast Detroit. This is the one and only IT and the D Show, the #1 ranked technology podcast on SoundCloud this week.
Can we start like a counter for that? How many weeks in a row we're #1?
We've been like
We don't
almost-
count.
Yeah.
Nuri, we don't count here. Remember?
count.
We don't do that.
For 12 weeks running.
Episode 141.
It is April 25th. This is episode 141. Like I said, we are live here.
This is the best week ever.
In beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, here with Dave, the geek, Nuri, the FNG. Find everything you need to know about us at ITintheD.com. Shout out to Ian. He's going to be live tweeting us. Hashtag ITintheD at ITintheD, and give us a like on Facebook. And if you want to follow all of the shows on the Podcast Detroit Network, grab the app. It is on iTunes and Android, and don't forget I was on Apple and iOS.
Bob the sales guy.
Last week we just got announced we are on Google Play Music. It's not rolled out on my app yet. I guess it's a slow roll.
Yeah.
Pardon the bad Detroit pun.
We don't do slow roll.
I know, right? But if you're on a PC, if you're on Google Play Music, you can grab our podcast there.
Yeah.
And leave us a review on iTunes. We just got one yesterday. It's our 60th. Which is, I know, right?
We didn't count around here.
I counted that one. Fine, it was the later one. But hey, do us a favor, mark your calendars. We're going to be talking Penguicon this weekend, but this weekend we will be front and center at Penguicon at the Southfield Weston the entire weekend. God save us all. Call the police. Hide your wife. Hide your kids.
Yes, do that.
It's going to be. We're going to be talking about it more in segment 3, I think, because. Segment 4.
Yes.
And 5.
And 5. Talking Penguicon until 3 in the morning. We do have some great guests. So we got Cheryl and Mike here from the Lutheran Social Services of Michigan. They are rebranding. We're going to be talking about IT.
Samaritas.
We're going to be talking about rebranding. Probably a pretty old brand, and also what's IT look like in the nonprofits these days. And we also got Dean and Bill here throwing an 80s party for a purpose. Like I said, if you're going to do charity, make it fun, and this sounds like an absolute blast, and we're going to be talking a lot to them. So this, Nuri, if you want to head this off, we got a great sponsor for this week.
We do, and it helps me so much because I am a bad son. In fact, I think I'm probably the world's worst son, or was that Kim Jong-un was a pretty bad son, too. But basically, I never know what to give my mom for gifts for Mother's Day. I've been kind of terrible. I have not gotten my mother a gift on Mother's Day, and that's probably because I just am kind of uncomfortable the whole process.
Mom, here's a card.
I love you, Mom. I really do.
Right.
But
I went down the lazy aisle at Target. Here you go. Here's a candle, Mom.
But see, I hate going to the store. I hate my mom lives in Florida, so I hate going to the post office and shipping and things like that. So basically, there is a new app out there called Giftagram. Basically, it lets you send anybody an awesome gift curated from the top 1% of gifts anywhere, right? So instead of having to go to a bunch of different places or go to a store or go through endless categories on Amazon trying to find a gift, basically in 3 clicks of a smartphone app, you can send your mom a gift.
And it's everything from $20 truffles and a porcelain coffee mug, like I got my mother, all the way to like a $500 mixer from whatever the fancy mixers are called. I don't know. But they have, anything from flowers, subscription models for roses. There's literally, and it's all broken down. There's like 12 categories: him, her, tech, mom,
baby shower,
bestsellers.
birthdays, things like that. So any kind of categories. It was even better. You don't even have to know your mom's address.
How do you send it to her?
So basically, the app sends a text message, and basically they would follow the link in the text message, fill out all this stuff, and basically get a gift shipped directly to them. So it's like it literally takes all the guesswork out of gift giving. And the best part is that listeners of this podcast get $20 off their first gift on Giftagram. Just download the Giftagram app on your iPhone or Android device and use the coupon code.
There's still no Q's in that word.
Bob and I are like together on this. It's
coupon.
Yeah, coupon. ITintheD. That's it. ITintheD, all one word. So thanks to Giftagram for your support, and thanks for making gifting gifts a little bit easier.
Wait, I don't have to go to the store. It makes my life. Again, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to process anything. I don't have to buy anything processed.
I have to think about it.
I hit the
You don't even have to know where your mother lives.
No, you just right exactly.
I told you my bad son.
Hopefully she does.
But you have to make that awkward phone call. Mom, yeah, I know you guys moved like 5 years ago. What's your address?
Every mom likes a coffee mug with mom on it. It's like what I found I could buy my mom like $300 worth of roses. $300 worth of roses. No, porcelain coffee mug with mom on it. Oh, you're the best son ever. See? Thanks to
I've never heard ever once.
So, well, and then don't forget, so we've got Penguicon coming up this weekend on Thursday, May 5th. We've got our Metro Detroit Podcasters Meetup happening downstairs at Activate. If you are interested in podcasting, if you run a podcast, if you want to start a podcast, we're going to have a lot of our shows down there too, but you don't have to be on our network to show up. We want a nice, good cross-pollination of ideas, so that's Thursday the 5th.
And since it is Cinco de Mayo, jar of mayonnaise get you in free.
Exactly.
Even though there's no cover.
Maybe just a packet. Like if they bring you one of the squeeze packets.
That'd be nice. Yeah, we'll hand those out.
We'll hand those out.
Well, they'll be in the sink.
Okay.
For Cinco de Mayo. Right. Put on your food. I don't know what. And then don't forget Comic-Con is coming up. The granddaddy of them all, the Super Bowl for us geeks.
Yeah.
We're going to have this huge booth, retro video games, live podcasting.
Perfect location.
No Jimmy Walker this year. I can't get him to say the ITintheD show's dynamite, but I think we'll live.
Well, we'll be all right.
You're right.
Like I said, our big question is if we want to take Tara Reid out and get her drunk, do we have to bring Ian Ziering with us?
No. No.
That's a thing that could happen?
That's a thing.
I'm totally there.
Yeah, you're supposed to be. You have to be there. We've been talking about Uber since this show started.
Pretty much.
And I've been I don't know, for summer I got a bug up my butt. And I filled out the form, and I became an Uber driver. And I got approved, and I decided...
And this is why they have class action lawsuits about their background checks. Just saying. I'm just putting that out there.
And I decided on Saturday I was going to go to Jack's Car Wash and have him clean out my car because it's a pigsty. And I was going to keep the windows rolled down to get the White Castle smell out of the car. And I pushed the button, and I drove people around.
So who's your first fare? Was it like...
It was a skater kid going to Pontiac.
Dude, awesome.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk?
Yeah. We were talking about he's in telematics, and we were talking about like smart cars, and it's like his parents, their company, and he's involved in it. And yeah, I wouldn't have had that. Wouldn't have got. So here's the thing: why I'm doing like for me, I love random conversations with strangers, and usually I find solace at a bar stool, either talking to bartenders and randoms and arguing sports and.
That's why you're so good at sales, right? You can talk to anybody about anything.
Yeah. So I figured, hey, keep me out of the bar, make a couple bucks. I'll try the Uber driver thing. I ended up picking up 3 guys that were sports writers from Cleveland, where they wanted to go to Birmingham. I was arguing that LeBron James sucks, and they wanted to know why I thought that. I'm like, because I'm a Pistons fan, So I mean, and then there was a drunk couple in downtown.
1 star
Rochester.
hates LeBron James.
Yeah, exactly, totally.
What's your rating? Is it like still 5 stars or what is it?
Still 5 stars.
Nice.
Yeah. I took the best conversation I had. There was a drunk couple, Rochester Chop House. I took them home to Royal Oak, right by our studio, or our new proposed studio. And I started talking to him about, I own a podcast studio and I work for Cisco. And he's like, what are you doing this for? And I told him the story. And by the end, like he grew up in Grosse Pointe, so he used to go to the Post when I used to DJ back in like 96. So like all of a sudden he's like calling me DJ Bob, and he's like, I'm going to listen to ITintheD, the podcast. Like the whole thing was it was a great conversation. I mean, awesome people. I was about an hour and a half into it. I was done. I was spent. Like it's tedious because you have to know where you're like if you don't know where you're going, you're following the Google Maps and you're always like it's stressful.
It's like performance too, right? I mean, you're basically talking to everybody. You're like adjusting your personality.
You got to be on.
Yeah,
exactly. I still give it a week before one of 2 things happens. Either
I'm not going to fart in a car, Dave.
You drunkenly summon yourself as an Uber driver, or 2, we summon you as an Uber driver, thinking we're calling an Uber driver, and you're drunk on the bar stool next to us with the damn app active.
I want to turn it on. It's going to be hilarious. I want to turn it on and see what happens.
Like, hey, there's one right here. Let's go.
Can we isolate that, please? You're going to drunkenly summon yourself.
I could see I don't know if I could see making a pretty decent side living doing it though. It's pretty phenomenal seeing I can work when I want, I can shut it off when I want. I could have worked till midnight that night. It was euphoric. I was sitting at home going, oh my God, it's a 3X surge. I got to get back out there. And I'm like, nope, staying home. Me and my wife were watching a movie, and I'm telling her.
Turning into the Dave Chappelle junkie. Hey, man, you got more than fares.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Then I'm telling her, I'm like, oh my God, babe, 3X surge. I should get back out there. And she's like, just sit your ass on the couch. Like,
I'll give you a 3X surge.
Yeah. But it was funny, though. I was looking at how this, like, now that I'm open to, like, what the surges and the map. Like Royal Oak, there's no surge because there's such an influx.
Do you get push alerts? They like push you alerts saying there's a gigantic surge right now at blank?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I'm still getting like you should start driving. Like I'm still getting those push alerts, like hundreds of them. Like they're crazy with the emails and the, even though I've started already. It's weird.
Did you get tips? Did people?
No one tipped me.
No one tipped you.
But then again, I didn't start tipping till we started traveling and using Uber. Like when we went to Philly,
Lyft lets you tip right on the app.
I thought I heard that. I thought I heard that Uber was going to be incorporating that
because that's a great feature.
There are drivers striking in like New York City based on those very same things, right?
Sure.
They want the ability to tip, and I would love it. There are some drivers that are so badass that if I have extra cash, I will throw it their way if I'm taking short trips. But I also don't want it to turn into like another way to raise prices for Uber, right? I don't know.
I know. We were giving guys like a $5 bill in Philly, but like the one like I went from Rochester Hills downtown from the Chop House all the way to 11 in Campbell, and there was no surge on, and it was $10. And now I'm in the middle of Royal Oak, so I'll get 20 minutes to get back home. I didn't want to keep turning it on because by the time I'll end up in Detroit, I'm like I'm going to get back home. So it's time consuming. You know what I mean? If you're not right, but as soon as I'm dropping people off, turning it back on again. The saddest one was I thought it was Hamlin Pub on Rochester, but it was next door, Papa Romano's. Nope. There was a gal that works there, and she doesn't have a car, so she has to take Uber to work. And like I didn't even want to charge her. And I'm like, oh my God, you're chewing like you're only making $8 an hour. You're working at a pizzeria.
So here's a $10 out of my wallet, please. Don't you take this back?
Yeah, but it's like I felt bad. She goes, I ride my bike, but it's a little bit farther than I'd like to ride my bike. And I'm like, so you got to chew 2 hours of your like an 8-hour shift just to get to and from. I'm like, I felt like, you know what I mean? It's like you get that type of thing now. You just feel bad.
And you're out there just doing that for shits and giggles.
What?
Being an Uber driver.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm not making. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be like a job. It's like it's my 6th job. I'm Jamaican now.
Right.
No, to be honest with you, if I do it 4 hours a month, 6 hours a month, like every other Saturday, to me it's fun. Like I told you, I'd worry. You would be great at it, Dave, but you're too OCD. You'd be out till 4 a.m. because it's like the team's buzzing. I don't know, and I'm 3X surge.
It would gamify the hell out of my life.
It would be your new Clash of Clans, and then by the way, did you hear the news?
What news?
Prince died.
I'm so sad.
Are you sure?
He did.
I heard nothing about that.
Not Nakamura.
Not a single post on Facebook from any of my friends.
I miss him so much.
Not the cornerback for the Giants. Not Harry. Like just Prince. Died.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Are you going to miss him, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sad.
So sad.
And I actually saw something because we have this conversation all the time. Every time people are like, oh my God, I'm going to miss him so much. Well, okay, you didn't really know him personally.
No.
Pop his CD in. It still works. Robin Williams died. Pop his movie in.
Pop it Mrs. Doubtfire and then realize you don't miss him anymore.
It's okay. Like it has really no impact on your life whatsoever. But so then I saw a conversation going on that I thought was kind of an interesting take on it, where it's not that you miss the artist for who they are. It's you miss the artist for who they taught you were.
That's great.
About yourself.
It still is.
No, I'm freaking out because somebody in their 50s died, and that's like, too close to home. So,
that's
fair.
Yeah, once.
I don't care who they are. Yeah. They're dying in their 50s. That's too young.
He's got a lot of miles on him, Prince does. I mean,
well, and that's the other part of it. Everybody's like, oh, he was such a great guy, man, and then so he was in Atlanta the week before doing a couple shows, and the plane had to make an emergency landing on the way back in Illinois because he had the flu. Yeah, you don't make emergency landings because you have the flu. Like I don't, Bob. No matter how bad you would get explosive diarrhea, the plane would not land.
I love that they can't call it the shits like a sports guy. Like Ian Kinsler didn't play today for the Tigers because of flu-like symptoms.
Flu-like symptoms.
What is it? I just want Dan Dickerson would say like, yeah, he had the shit, so you can't play. Like.
But no, so like you don't emergency land a plane for that. And so, the story comes out that, he had hip replacement surgery back in 2006 or 2010, one of the two. I can't remember off the top of my head. And so like he was having pain as a result of that. Like there are all these videos and photos surfacing of him basically pacing like a madman outside of Walgreens every other day, waiting for someone to bring him out his drugs. So the story that's out there kind of floating around now is that, he OD'd on the plane. And when they made the emergency landing, they immediately rushed him to a hospital. They gave him a Narcan shot, basically the life-saving shot, and brought him back. You want to feed into that theory. He tweeted later that night that he was resurrected. Or no, he was transformed. That's what it was. Autobots, yeah. And then people that saw him because he tried to have the game face on and was still trying to be out and about like he always was. He wouldn't stay in the hospital, wanted to get back home. Was wandering around town, did a thing at his house, and people said he looked terrible. He looked very insanely pale. He looked incredibly frail and weak. Somebody had given him a brand new guitar and a brand new piano, and he just literally he can't play the guitar. So because you're up and moving but he could sit down and play the piano. So I mean it's and then I was talking about this on Facebook. We're like, oh my God, you're an ass because you're denigrating the band. I'm like, no, I'm just telling you what's out there, man. Like it's not me personally making up these stories. Like these are facts. This is what happened.
My favorite Prince story that came out when I was reading was the Weird Al one. Do you know this one?
Really, my favorite was when he kicked the video of him kicking Kim Kardashian off stage.
Oh, that was good. That was good too. But the Weird Al one was great. So apparently, Weird Al wanted to do a Prince parody, and Prince no, it's not happening. Well, come to find out, they're going to the Grammys or one of the awards ceremonies, and they're sitting in the same row. So Prince had his lawyers draft a certified letter to Weird Al, almost like a summons or like a subpoena that Weird Al is not to make direct eye contact with the artist known as Prince.
I think it was a telegram.
Was it a telegram?
Was a telegram. I'm like, who the hell drafts a telegram?
Right. But I'm just thinking
it's the 1930s. See, man.
If I'm Weird Al, I'm sitting at the end of the row with my fingers opening up my eyeballs and just
with the mask from Saw,
right,
keeping my eyes open and staring at him the entire time.
What are you gonna do? Exactly.
You're not supposed to make eye contact.
But again, I understand the whole purpose. The music shaped us, right? And I had controversy on vinyl.
Oh, and
I listened to everything that he ever made. But at the end of the day, I can still play that. I can't. Nothing left. I watched Purple Rain on VH1. Nothing changed.
Well, and he's going to be the new Tupac. Because apparently, when
thousands of hours,
when everything was going on with Warner Brothers, he said, "Screw you guys." Had the recording studio in the basement. And apparently, he has something like the equivalent of 300 albums.
Oh boy, it'd be like Star Wars. You're going to get one every Christmas till the end of our lives. Jesus Christ!
And they're all going to be virtual holograms, right?
Oh yeah, Coachella next year. There'll be a Prince hologram, duking it out with Tupac, possibly with lightsabers. But speaking of Star Wars, phenomenal theory.
Love it.
That came out, and it's not so much even a theory. Well, it is kind of a theory, even though George Lucas said it because he makes shit up all the time. But so he's if you think about it, there's a narrator for the Star Wars movies, and it's R2-D2.
Hundreds of years after,
hundreds of years after all these movies that we've known and loved,
or parsecs or whatever you want to call them.
12. It's a unit of distance, but
never mind.
Han Solo, so it's R2-D2 recounting the story to the Journal of Wills, at hundreds of years down the road. And if you think about it, he's like, think about it. R2-D2 somehow, this stupid little robot, is the hero in all the big moments. He's the one that's got the lightsaber that Luke needs in Jedi and manages to get it to him. He's the one that, never gets his memory wiped like 3PO does. He's the one. So kind of an interesting theory. And if you think of it, you're like, oh, I can see that totally making sense.
And he flew when he was younger, but he couldn't fly later.
Exactly. He had the rocket packs in episode 1, but they weren't there in episode 4. But whatever.
So I like gadgets and new technology as much as the next guy. This one pissed me off, and it's for a completely stupid reason why. So I got a couple tiles last year. You remember?
Yeah.
Little things to find your keys, right? The Bluetooth dongle.
Yeah. So it's a Bluetooth. Like I put one on my keys, I put one on my laptop bag, and I put one. I think I gave one to my wife for her keys. And I just get a text going, or from the app, a push notification going, your tile is dead. You paid $12 to get a new one.
1 year, this little dongle that attaches to your keys, 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I might have turned it. And that's what I said. So here I am. So I retracted my. And I go, okay, I knew the thing wasn't going to live forever, right? Because it's got to have a battery. But nowhere did I, when I acquired it, did it say, hey, this thing's got a 12-year shelf and you got to keep buying it.
12 month.
What did I say?
12 year. 12
month.
Not 12 year.
12 parsecs.
You'd be okay with 12 years.
12 parsecs. But so now I got to shell out, $36 to get.
Still a unit of distance Han Solo cup.
No.
So have you received the value? Have you got $12 of value out of it this year?
I lost my keys twice.
Okay.
And I keep getting weird push notifications that someone has updated the locations of my tile. Like apparently, they hit it on their Bluetooth. Like I don't know if it was someone doing Bluetooth scanning but I'm like, what in the hell? Like, do they know where my? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like this weird who's seeing where my shit is? You know what I mean? So it's like, again, I probably won't update them. I don't, I get it. I always had this idea it would be good for, insurance. Like, if you had, a $20,000 Picasso and you throw a tracker on it, so in case somebody steals it.
But that's going to be more than Bluetooth, right? That's going to be, low jack for paintings.
Yeah, that's going to hit
GPS.
Right, or cell towers or whatever.
Sorry, the battery died on your Picasso low jack last week.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
But stupid tile, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. One of our favorites. Actually, we didn't even talk about it. We were talking about the Uber tips. Facebook is testing an amazing new feature because this is what Facebook needs: is a tip jar.
For what?
For you and I. So today, I post a snarky comment on the 97.1 page about their article. We post crap about jobs. It gets 4 likes. I post a snarky comment on 97.1. It gets 100 likes and comments and shares.
So I give you my coffee change. Here's 38 cents, Dave.
Yes,
don't spend it all in one place.
That's how that works. Apparently, tip jar.
For what?
Because that's what Facebook needs.
It's interesting. It's kind of Patreon. Basically, you're doing the same thing, right? You're almost tipping artists for the things that they're creating. So
right.
Yeah, but that's a discrete thing, right? Patreon, every time somebody makes a video, you give them some money. This tip jar sounds like I made a Twitter joke.
I have spent a lot of time coming up with this Facebook status, Scott.
I think I need $150 for this joke.
Is it Facebook's way to make you make better content? Oh. Instead of going, why won't he call? Toilet updates that I have to filter through to get to 3 good things.
I think that it's probably, and this is my paranoia here, I think it's the long game to get everybody onto something like Pages. Remember how businesses used to be able to contact anybody they wanted to? And now you can only contact 10% of your audience unless you pay them money? Well, what if the same thing happened to people?
Well, they already hide a bunch of who you actually talk, who sees your feed and everything. Then you actually have to pay just to make sure everyone sees it.
We're gonna have Facebook panhandlers. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be walking down the streets of Philadelphia and change.
Well, I got a Facebook message from one of the school moms. It's like, hey, my boyfriend is doing a GoFundMe. You mind checking it out? Maybe if it's good, tell some of your friends. I'm like, cool, done. So what is it? It's $50,000. He wants $50,000 to raise to open up a food truck. So I'm like, okay, do I get a year's worth of food? No. Do I get a sandwich? No. Do I get to ride along and ring the bell? No. Do I get to beep the horn? No. You just give them money.
No.
I'm like, are you shitting? Are you kidding me? When did this happen? We're I want to open up a McDonald's and I need $2 million and give me money.
Yeah, that's more of a Kickstarter thing, really. I've seen a couple local ones that were I want to open a pie place, and you'll get a pie if you contribute.
Yeah, give me a T-shirt and a sticker for $10. Give me. No, I'm serious.
Without having to run a 5K for it.
Right. I don't want to run 5K mopeds. I want to ride a moped. But that's the thing. Blue Smart, I want there's that smart luggage. And if you did the Kickstarter early, you get one when they're released. I get that. But this whole I want to like just give me money, like the honeymoon crap. We want a zip line when we're in Punta Cana, but we can't.
With dolphins.
I can't afford it.
Give us $300.
Every smoke pot on the beach. Give me $20.
Which honestly would be a perfect use for. I don't know if you heard this. This is kind of this story tweaks me out a little bit. There was a train coming to Detroit, and when it arrived in Detroit, it was carrying a whole bunch of stuff, and one of that bunches of stuff was dynamite. And 32 cases.
Dynamite,
yeah. There are 32 cases of dynamite that went missing off this train.
Who puts that on a train car?
Well, they can't put it on planes. You can't ship dynamite on planes.
I thought they were going to put it professional
next
fireworks.
Uber driver.
I heard. Right.
That's
like
dynamite.
Okay.
And I think they recovered a lot of it. But
yeah, they got
still
I think all but one
some
box or something.
That's just.
Wait, well, where did they recover it from? Did they look at the tracks? Was it like, it just
where did
fell
it
off?
Follow them size 5s.
Yeah.
Can't you put like a truck? You can't carry dynamite.
They should have had tiles.
They should have. See?
Uber driver.
Except if you whistle it, it only goes like doo 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 doo. It's really like quiet and faint. Like, listen, can you hear it? There it is.
So speaking of stupid things, my favorite story this week was, did you guys hear about that bank in Bangladesh who kind of lost $1 billion because of their poor security?
$1 billion.
No, not just poor security.
Yeah, they had
security.
$10 switches. Some guy went to Walmart and bought like a Netgear switch and put it in this.
No, he got the no-name brand because those are more than $10.
Yeah, let's be honest. They went to whatever the Bangladesh equivalent of Walmart is.
They got the Met Gear.
They bought the
Walmart.
They got Cisco spelled like the food company.
Right. Cisco made routers. So basically, $81 million actually made it out of the bank. They recovered most of it. $20 million was going to a company in Sri Lanka, but the hackers misspelled the name of the company. So the $20 million got returned, and it set off a whole big set of
the whole thing was stupid when the hackers misspell the company. They're able to steal $1 billion, but they don't know how to.
But they don't have autocorrect on. We talked Bodie McBoatface for 2 weeks, so I feel like we have to mention what I'm just going to call Schoolie McSchoolface.
Well, it's the Robert E. Lee School.
The Robert E. Lee School in Austin, Texas, decided that they didn't want to be named Robert E. Lee anymore.
That's fair.
And like any idiot would do, the superintendent decided to let the internet vote on what the name of the school should be, because we've learned nothing.
So leading right now is Donald J. Trump Elementary.
Yeah, it was Drew Brees Elementary. Was
John Cena.
The Adolf Hitler School for Friendship and Tolerance.
I wanted to say that one. God damn it. And then, actually, my favorite one is the Adam Lanza School of Fun.
Yeah. Like, how do you not understand that you don't let the internet name things?
Schoolface is like third place.
I'm sure it is.
I actually really like that one.
Yeah, it's got some charm.
Where do you go, kid? Schoolface Elementary? That sounds awesome.
Best school ever.
My kids would want to go.
What would their mascot be? Would it be Bodie? Or would it be Schoolie?
No, they're like a school with like a face on the door. Like the windows would be the eyes and the door would be the mouth.
Be the creepiest mascot ever.
It's gonna be a school with a kilt. It's McSchoolface.
Yeah, it's Schoolie McSchoolface, kids.
There you go.
Willie the groundskeeper.
The Schooligans. I don't know.
That's their team name, the Schooligans.
Perfect, the Schooligans.
Hey, we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to be back with Mike and Cheryl from the Lutheran Social Services of Michigan, who are rebranding. We're going to talk about IT in the nonprofit space. This is the IT in the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
welcome back. This is segment 2, episode 141. Remember, Dave, it wasn't that long ago where I would get that mixed up almost every single week, and I don't think I've messed that up in probably a good solid year. You're listening to the IT and the D show, the number one
segment 141 of the idea
of episode 2, the number one ranked technology podcast on SoundCloud this week. This is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find everything you need to know about us, ITintheD.com. Don't forget, mark your calendars. This weekend we'll be at Penguicon. We'll be talking about them in segment 4. And also May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, podcaster meetup downstairs, Activate Gaming. Right now, I think we got like 160 RSVPs, and I don't think that place holds 100 people, so should be an interesting evening. And then last but not least, Motor City Comic Con, our Super Bowl. It's going to be May 13th through the 15th. We're going to have a booth. We're going to be drinking a lot and podcasting till our heart's content. Cannot wait.
Well, not just us, a bunch of all of our shows and everybody else are coming in. Even people that aren't on our network are going to be using our gear at some point, I'm sure.
I can't wait to go up to somebody to get a drop, and they go, yeah, you're the 37th person from Podcast Detroit. Like, I don't think so. Like, who? You're like locusts. Get away from me. That's going to be fun.
We only have, 21 press passes for Comic-Con.
Speaking of locusts, Mike Dennis is here. Okay. Just kidding. We have Mike Dennis and Cheryl here from the Lutheran Social Services of Michigan. Mike has been you've been around us at the meetups probably since close to day one, if I'm not mistaken, back in 07, 08. When did you start coming to IT in the Day?
It's been probably like 4 years, something like that.
Okay,
yeah, or maybe 5 years, something.
Close enough. I can't count anymore anyway.
Yeah.
But hey, it's nice to have you guys out. You guys are with as it was once called the Lutheran Social Services of Michigan, but it's now called
Samaritas.
Samaritas.
Yes.
So what? I guess what involves, or how did it come to be where you guys said, you know what, this name just isn't cutting it. We need to rebrand, and this is the name we're going to come up with. I mean, how does that process work?
Well, it's a long process. Basically, what we've figured out is that people weren't coming to us because they thought you had to be Lutheran, to
they've seen Caddyshack.
Yes, exactly.
The bishop wouldn't let them go.
The bishop wouldn't let them in.
Exactly.
And, we figured, well, we want to be more inclusive, and so we decided to change the name and make it more appealing to a lot of different people. And so we went through a very long process with a branding agency and did a lot of focus groups, did a lot of research.
Those are such fun.
They're joy.
Too,
They're joy.
They?
Well, I didn't have to sit in all of them, so it wasn't too bad. But
what does this potential name say to you?
Let's take these 3 words and put them together.
What do you think of when you think of this color? Yeah, I mean, that's really how it happens. And so we came up with a short list, and then we kind of voted on them, and then we picked Samaritas. So we decided it had a little shelf life and had a little gravitas. Samaritas had a little gravitas.
So my first thought was, you're rebranding to Smartass.
When you do the possessive and there's 2 S's at the end, yes, it does look like Smartass.
I think every company, when they go through their naming, should probably run their name through Urban Dictionary first.
Yes.
Or at least us.
It's helpful. Well, we talked about earlier out in the lobby there that it was people don't understand sometimes how to pronounce it. So they pronounce it Samaritas, which, sounds like a
drink in a Mexican
sounds like Cinco de Mayo, baby. Let's go. So, yeah. So we're going to...
It's all about the syllable emphasis.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes, that's right. Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
ElSegundo.com was taken, so,
Right.
You lost your wallet there once?
Yeah, I did. I still can't find it.
So, I guess, beyond the name change, so for those who don't know, you said you wanted to make it more appealing to other people. What is it that you do?
Well, we are a social services...
Because Mike's been coming around for years. I have no idea what
You have no idea? Well, he does IT. Come on. Those guys.
Nobody understands what the hell we do.
Nobody understands what they do. We are one of the largest faith-based nonprofits in the state of Michigan. We're the largest private adoption and foster care agency.
Okay.
We are the largest refugee resettlement agency in the state, and we're the 4th largest in the country. So we do a lot of refugee resettlement work. We have senior living facilities. We have nursing homes. We have foster care and adoption. We do a lot of different things, and we do it all over the state, just the Lower Peninsula. We don't have the Upper Peninsula. And we've been around for 82 years. So
not a bad track record.
We've been around a while.
Very
But,
cool.
Change is good. It's time to change, and change is hard for people, but
Yeah, we know.
it really
Yeah.
is. It really is. I'm the recipient of the info@samaritas.org email, and oh boy, I get a lot of nasty grams, about a lot of things, when the whole Syrian refugee crisis was happening, and we're really involved with that. Oh yeah, the hate mail was exquisite.
Love Merca.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I know who you're voting for in the presidential election.
Yeah.
Very much. Yeah. So
I mean, being nonprofit, being like having virtually no budget, I guess,
Blue Cross is a nonprofit.
But that's different. That's different.
Yeah,
but I mean, in terms of getting you need IT.
You need money to do it. You need a lot of money to handle the switching over of your infrastructure. I mean, everything had to change. And plus, we have almost 2,000 employees that work for us. And up until the rebranding, we didn't really have the wherewithal to give everybody in our organization an email. So communicating with everybody was difficult. So we had a lot of people that really felt
you couldn't figure out how to set up a listserv, Mike?
Well, a lot of people didn't have access to computers. Like someone might be like a housekeeper or something, and so they would never actually have a computer there. But so that's why we didn't give them an email, because they didn't need it, for accessing the site or anything. So we kind of took the opportunity of rebranding to fix a lot of those things and to kind of bolster our infrastructure, bolster our IT. We're going to be launching a new website. Mike is right in the throes of creating a whole better
he's been wearing a
intranet.
huge happy helmet for weeks.
Yeah, I know.
At the same time as changing the name, we also decided to move a lot of my stuff, which is like the applications, especially internal applications and databases and things, to an offsite data center that has a lot better uptime and stuff than our office does. Because we had
somebody kept hitting the damn light switch.
Yeah, and where we're at, you can't really get that fast of internet. Even though it's on our main office is on Jefferson, a little east of Belle Isle,
right?
And they're just the best we could get is 40 megabit or 50 megabit or something like that. It wasn't,
No,
you
literally,
can't really
when you're
operate.
talking on your cell phone in the office, at our office, you have to go near a window.
All we can get is a DS3 to our office. It's so bad.
Dial up.
It's
Dial up.
so
It's
99.
fabulous.
My grandparents live in a place that they just have DSL. 3 meg DSL is the best they can do anyway.
See? I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
it's just, there's a limit.
There's still little old ladies in Metairie, Louisiana. That's why AOL is still in business. So,
Yeah, I think we have 1 or 2 locations that we had to actually get a cell drop or something there to run the place off of, because they couldn't even get any lines. Like Comcast, I think, wanted to charge us $30,000 or something at one place to run a line.
What's the company in Ann Arbor that does line of sight microwave transmissions?
It's Tolly, Zing.
Well, there's a
Zing
bunch.
Wireless.
Yeah.
Merit's the one for the education, and then Internet 2, which is still there.
Hey, point-to-point type stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be
1, 2, 3
testing that
does
in my
it.
office
1, 2, 3
in Troy.
does it, yeah.
We just haven't actually set it up yet for IT to test it yet, but we've got it set up there.
Because we had talked about that for when we were going to do a conference, having Tolly basically saturate the Masonic.
Which you had to, because they had crap for pipe coming in. So, I mean, are you guys relying on grants to fund the infrastructure, or is it?
No, we actually we have a foundation which has been around for a long time, and we've had some really generous donations to our foundation. And so we're basically funding the rebranding out of the foundation. So that's the plan.
$30,000 from Vistaprint for new business cards. Are you nuts?
Well, I can never hear the word foundation without the Foundation for Law and Justice, Knight Rider.
Nah, not quite. It's not quite that sexy.
Right.
In my head, though. So I guess it's a good point. I mean, Mike, from an IT perspective, what... I think we've all, at some point in time, been through a company that's either been through a name change or, acquired somebody or something like that. What's that been for you?
It was I've been there
Besides
almost
a
10
nightmare.
Yeah, I've been there.
Other than that,
I've been there a little over 10 years now, and let's just say we made the assumption a while back that the name probably wasn't ever going to change, since it was around longer than I've been alive. So, we kind of had a few things that we had to kind of restructure a little bit. A lot of find, replace, alls, different things, and we still have a bit more to do too. We've just kind of done the surface stuff for right now. We still have to redo the network some for the new name, and kind of take that as a reason to do it better than it was right now, because being a nonprofit, we've kind of piecemeal different parts together over the years. For quite some time, way before I started, we didn't even have computers until I think the late 80s, early 90s, and people kind of like snuck them in. So
you guys have the $10 Netgear router and the no firewall, right?
No. We got better stuff now, actually. I mean, it was like a couple years ago. We have a network engineer now that's been doing a pretty good job on things, and like a voice engineer, and he's been doing a good job on things. Before that, it was kind of like people who, kind of were learning it as they were going along and didn't, have a lot of background in it outside of there in like an actual company. But now we have people that know a little bit more about that.
Now, are you guys beholden? You're not beholden to like bank like Sarbanes-Oxley, HIPAA. You guys are
HIPAA.
being a number. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we have to do Sarbanes-Oxley. Oh yeah, absolutely. We have to file. We have to have, all of our financials have to be available and open to the public. That's all applicable for everything
we
that we
have
do.
some fun audits. It was like 3 months, I think, for the fiscal audit this year.
Oof. Yeah, but because as Mike said, because we're a health and human services organization and we take care of patients, we also have to deal with HIPAA too, which is tricky.
Compliance officers and all kinds of things.
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely.
We're still working on some of the details with some of that, but we definitely have to have that.
And we have to have a lot
Those
of.
are so not fun.
They're not fun because you have to make sure people aren't sending, confidential medical information via email and all of that. And a lot of people just don't think about it. And so
we've talked about that a million times.
Patient blah, 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 had high blood pressure and boom, and you send the email and you don't encrypt it. And it's like, ugh,
we use
that kind
mobile
of
device
stuff.
management, like the AirWatch system for a lot of our stuff right now. And the problem is that then we have people who might not have a company phone, might have their own phone, and might, go and try to take a picture of like some, a foster kid or something like that. And, and then there's issues there because we can't protect that because their phone's not, doesn't have that. So we still have issues with some of that because to get some of this, like the storage and stuff like that, if we were trying to have, like a secure cloud storage or something for all the people that we have, like that's, even being a nonprofit, for what we have right now, it's pretty expensive per person. So we're always looking at other things. That's one of the big challenges is that especially with our old IT director that we used to have, a lot of especially the application side stuff, we didn't get a lot. We couldn't really ask for money for stuff. So we kind of had to figure out what we could do for no money and like the best that we could do and kind of build off of that and find out who has deals for different things. So I've got like a whole list of, companies that, being a nonprofit, you can get like the free version of it if you self-host it or something like that. So
that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just go out and buy it.
Yeah, I worked for a nonprofit when I lived down in Virginia. I don't miss those days.
Yeah.
Well, I worked in the corporate world for like 25 years, and it was, it's a challenge, but, there's a lot of good people that work there, and it's a good cause, and, makes you feel good about what you do.
So where do people that are listening, like, where do they go find out about you, the organization, what you guys, it sounds like you're doing a lot of good stuff. Yeah. I assume they can find out how to either get help, find help, volunteer, all that fun stuff
all that
on
fun
the site?
Stuff, yep. Samaritas.org.
Okay, so it's SAMARITAS.
Beautiful.
.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we
if they
bought
happen
that
to go
domain.
If they happen to type in our old one, they should get redirected over. That was lssm.org.
Okay.
So
should.
Yeah, should.
There's the key word. Yeah. Every once in a while, those links get broken.
That's not on me, though. That's my coworker.
Yes.
I'm not Captain DNS. That's his job.
I've got more internal stuff than
the storage guy. I'm the network guy.
Well, and it's interesting. All the little idiosyncrasies that you don't think about when you rebrand. I was just telling Mike, I said one of my biggest challenges right now is we have 60-some offices, communities around the state. And so every single one of those people has created a profile in Google Maps, Bing, Yelp, Yahoo, and you have to go and change all of those individually. You can't just call up Google and say, hey,
can you do a global
I'm the
search and
marketing
replace for
person.
me?
Give me all access to all this stuff so I can change it because I'm in charge. For obvious reasons. They want it to be more difficult. But, some of the people that set this up, they're no longer with the company. The phone number no longer works. They've set it up with their cell phone.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a whole lot of oversight when people did this. So part of our goal about rebranding was we were going to, make all of the different names and all of the different little brands that we had started. We eliminated those so we'd all be under the Samaritas brand and we could have that leverage and, that economy of scale. But it causes issues like this. It's
right.
I don't know whoever set us up in Yelp, but people have set us up in Yelp and we have to go in and change our name. And,
One Star wasn't Catholic.
Didn't let me do what I wanted.
Did not offer communion wafers.
Exactly.
Adopted a kid, turned out to be an asshole. Sorry.
Adopted kid did not tell me I had to speak Chinese.
I'm adopted. My parents might have given me a bad Yelp rating at some point, I'm sure. But yeah.
I know my parents did. Trust me.
But it's all those little, housekeeping issues
Right.
that are so time consuming. And they're difficult. I mean, because, to change those things, you either have to answer the phone, you have to say, okay, call me, and you have to answer the phone, and sometimes you don't know where the heck the phone number goes, or it's snail mail, send me the code.
Yep.
And
and then 5 days later, 4 letters show up, and you're like,
right,
which
you're
one
like,
was
I
this?
don't know,
I was
what
working.
the heck?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's our next big challenge. But because that impacts your SEO, it impacts, when people are navigating, they're typing it in and Samaritas isn't coming up. It's LSSM and all of our, 60 offices around the state. So, it's all that goofy internet.
All that fun,
goofy
wacky
internet
mayhem.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But hey, we're
interesting.
Cheryl, Mike, appreciate you guys spend some time with us.
No problem. Happy to be
good
here.
luck with the rebrand.
Thank
it sounds amazing. It's exciting and just an exhilarating process.
The word you're looking for is painful. About
/S.
We're happy the sign unveiling is done. It literally took us a half an hour to get the cover off the sign in Detroit.
It was pretty bad.
It was like a Benny Hill episode. It was horrible.
There was like some screw or something at the top that was like net, like
and it hooked on there. Somebody had to get a ladder and a fish hook.
Yeah, it took many IT people and like some other
how many IT guys take on
a
sign? Yeah,
like 25.
You gotta cut the ribbon and it's made on a Tyvek and your scissors are not sharp enough.
Yes,
damn it,
just like that. Yeah. So it's
But hey, we're gonna be back with the folks behind the 80s Party for a Purpose. This is the IT and the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D Show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
Welcome back. Segment 3, episode 141. This is the IT and the D Show. We're hanging out in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Dave the Geek, Nuri, the FNG. Find everything you need to know about us, ITintheD.com. Give us a like on the Twitter. Give us a follow on the Facebook and leave us a iTunes review. We would greatly appreciate it. I do them backwards on purpose. Scott's looking at me like I'm an idiot. No, Bob, you follow on Twitter. The Twitters, the Googles, it's all about the S at the end. It's a Michigan thing. I work at the Fords. We're going to go shopping at the Myers.
I'm going to go through my door wall.
That's what it is. Give me a pop.
The Michigan left.
Speaking of nostalgia, we got Dean and Bill here. There's a cool party we saw online, 80s Party for a Purpose, and I'm like, we like 80s music. We like giving to charities.
This seems like it might be up our alley.
Exactly.
Does that mean we're getting a sponsor?
Well, who knows? You might before the show's end. But guys, I appreciate you coming out.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, I guess talk to me. How did this thing come about? What made you get up in the morning and say, you know what, we need to do an 80s party? And,
well, it started 5 years ago at a VFW hall for special needs kids. The following year, everybody had a great time, and they wanted to have another one next year. And I said, well, we'll do it for a good cause. And I had some friends in Afghanistan, and we reached out to Blue Star Mothers and Family Readiness Program over at Selfridge Air Base. And they were coming home. Our friends were coming home in March, and we had it in March, so they were home the day that we had it. Then it just kept growing from there and just getting bigger every year. And now we're doing it for 3 different causes, which is Great Lakes Burn Camp for kids, Military Blue Star Mothers, and Children with Hair Loss.
Just people can mark it. So it's May 21st, yes?
May 21st.
May 21st.
Gibraltar Trade Center, Mount Clemens.
Mount Clemens, right.
Yep. You can buy tickets online at 80sParty4aPurpose.org.
Well, yeah, so we've got our one of the other people that runs the show here, Karen, is having her birthday party that day, and she was talking about she wants to go hit the Tigers game and then go hit the casino. I'm like, okay, well, I might make it downtown, but you're making me choose between you and an 80s party, so I'm going to be skipping the casino and going to the 80s. And she was like, oh, I didn't know about that. So now she has scrapped her plans for the casino.
Just have your Uber driver; he'll drop you off at the
Bob.
No, and part of having you guys here is we've been talking about doing 80s prom. I got to look at when I registered that domain.
Oh, it's been
We've been talking
years.
about doing 80s prom for probably 6 years.
Easy.
I DJ'd one in Grand Rapids, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so much fun. We got to do it back here.
It's a blast.
It's great for reunions and everything, class reunions, you name it. I mean, it's a great event for all that type of stuff.
It really is. We really interact with people too. Like 99 red balloons. We have red balloons drop from the ceiling. We have guitars and microphones at an AC/DC song that comes out, and then the special guest this year is going to be Ghostbusters, which you guys...
We know those guys,
We might know them.
Guys?
Yeah, we might know them.
Well, there's about, I don't know how many of them, but there's 3 groups or something that are coming out, and they're going to do a special thing just after the Best Dress Contest, and...
Isn't Rockstar going to be there?
Rockstar is going to be there, Parallel Fifth.
We just saw Rockstar at an event in Northville.
They put on a great show.
Those guys are awesome.
They are very
put
good.
on a great show.
You don't expect much when you're like 80s, like bunch of 40-year-old guys singing, Def Leppard. These guys knock it out of the
They
park.
get up on the
They're
table.
so good.
I don't know if
I used to see them at
They own the
Augie's
place.
back in the day.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you've seen them lately, though, because they've just got 2 new great guitar players.
It's all on point, though. These guys are as talented as...
It's an incredible show they put on. They're going to put on a big one at ours, too. They're really going to put it together at ours.
So the layout, Gibraltar Trade Center, is it like 80s Fest in Frankenmuth when you're just in the big hall?
Well, we got a pavilion, where they have bike night over there.
Yeah. Right.
We got a pavilion, and we got a 40 by 140 tent. So we're going to put a venue up 12,800 square foot.
Okay. Say parking's not going to be an issue.
No. Carnival will be going on.
Ah. Well, that's good.
So it's going to be like a little 80s fest, actually. We're hoping to grow this to a 2-day 80s festival over there in the parking lot. Gibraltar's helping us. They sponsored our big, huge billboard that's going up on that big guy in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a billboard on M94.
It's 94.
M59.
Okay.
M59, right there off of 94. We've got a lot of great sponsors, Careers for Veterans, Cooper Standard. It's their foundation. They're sponsoring. They're our presenting sponsor. We have 106.7 The D is going to be there on site and actually emceeing for the night. We have Boatworks, Z-Bart is going to be there. General RV's giving us an RV for our band to dress up in and be in air conditioning and all that out back. Zip Fizz, it's a healthy alternative sports energy drink.
I love those guys. Based in Bothell, Washington.
Seattle.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Group around the corner.
Yep. D. Joe Lee is going to be on site doing hair in the 80s, makeup.
That was a big thing last year.
It's an incredible event. It really is, and it's for a great cause.
You got 3 really cool charities you're working for. What made you select those charities, and tell us a little bit about what they're doing?
Blue Star Mothers. The second year we did it, we ran into them over at Gibraltar Trade Center. They came out. They run the event. They did a great job, and we invited them back. Then we ended up getting Great Lakes Burn Camp. A friend of mine here, Bill, is actually a burn survivor himself, and that touched me dearly. So when I heard about them, we went to that group and asked them to come aboard, and now they're a big part of it. And Children with Hair Loss, we're just this will be the first year with them on board. We just thought, Children with Hair Loss, the burn camp, all kind of goes together. They can help each other out. With the hair and the wigs, and every wig's free. They donate. It's all free to the kids.
I was going to say, with Comic-Con coming up and all these retro, stars making appearances, I'm thinking we should talk to a few people about, guest appearances.
Don't put the costumes away. Come to the party.
No, not even that. Like having a special appearance by Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, he was just at Motor City Nightmares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be someone that's
there's
local.
some folks local that, we could probably tap into.
I'm just saying, that would be an awesome one, too.
And that brings everything, to the event.
We get the Tom Cruise. We get the Ghostbusters.
That Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson guy.
Well, Rick is a good friend of ours. Actually, he's a promoter of ours.
Okay, so I shouldn't say anything bad.
I'm just careful.
They're everywhere.
He's
Everywhere you go,
awesome,
like,
dude.
oh my God, Tom Cruise guy, Jack Nicholson guy.
He's a good guy. He's an awesome guy. He promotes our event. He runs around with our cards and passes them out, and he'll be there that night. And I think Jack Nicholson's going to come, and the Abraham Lincoln guy.
He's always at everything.
Yeah. I think they're all coming.
Right.
We have the Knight Rider kit car.
Nice.
It's a complete, I don't know.
And there's your Foundation for Law and
But I know it interacts with it interacts with the owner. And I actually...
Oh, he was at. That guy was at Gibraltar when we were there for Fantasticon.
I think he was. Yeah.
Yep.
Which one?
The Knight Rider car. He had it. It was out front.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
They wouldn't let him pull it in because. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have him inside, and we're hoping to have like a DeLorean. I know we have a DeLorean there every year with the flux capacitor, and we're
There's a few of those
car
around
show
here
too. I mean, we have all kinds of stuff going on. And we have a 21 gun salute. It starts out with VFW Hall in Richmond. National anthem done by one of Blue Star Mother's daughters. 21 gun salute. 8 o'clock bands come on. It's a complete interactive, just high energy event. Really is. It's incredibly awesome, actually.
I can't wait.
So then what do tickets cost for this incredibly awesome event?
Well, tickets are $20 per person for a door. Yep.
That's
nothing. I would happily pay like $40 or $50.
Yeah, that's nothing.
It's very cheap. It's a very cheap event.
Considering what tickets cost these days, I don't even want to tell you what I paid for Duran Duran tickets from me and my wife. Oh.
Well, the drink specials are really reasonable.
Yeah,
there.
drinks are cheap too.
You don't go there and expect to spend.
When you're going to buy a bucket of beer, I think
it's
I want to say it's $13. I could be wrong. Could be a little more.
For a beer or a bucket?
5 beers for a bucket.
Oh my God!
I think it is. I don't know.
A beer in Vegas is $17. I mean, I'm just saying.
But I know the mixed drinks are like 4, 5, and 6. But the bands are incredibly awesome. Like Parallel Fifth, they play all the dance music. These guys can play 80s they could be at your wedding. I mean, these guys are just incredibly awesome.
And they bring a sound guy that the owner of Gibraltar has never heard that pavilion sound as
good.
Well as it has last year.
Last year he was
it's phenomenal.
Is that my speaker system?
Right.
He's like couldn't believe it. So
can I just have him come out here like once every 2 months and fix shit?
So are you going continuous bands, or are you going to have DJs?
What they do is they alternate. I'm not sure. Parallel Fifth come out, they'll do a set. Rockstar comes out, they'll do a set. Parallel Fifth comes back out, they do a set. And then Rockstar.
I was slowly hinting to see if I could DJ breaks, but apparently it's covered.
We have a video DJ too. So when they're not playing, we have videos from MTV playing up on the screen
from back when they actually played videos on MTV.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just a complete energetic. We have our best dressed MC guy. He's going to be coming out. It's Frank Scalabrino.
Oh, yeah. Frank's awesome.
He does the best dressed thing. And
now, what do you got to do to step up to be best dressed? Because I'm talking. There's a lot of good costume. You know what I mean? Like
it's what we do is we have all the bars that are involved. We include all the local restaurants and bars. We go around. We ask for $10 gift cards from all of them, $50 to $100. Last year we gave $1,200 worth of gift cards.
Wow!
And what we do is we go up to people that are dressed up in the 80s that we think that have a chance for the best dress. We walk up to you and say, "Hey, here's a gift card." When he calls you up, go up there, and so we're passing out all these gift cards to all these local restaurants. So we're helping restaurants too, in the local area. So. The support I get from all the restaurants over there in Chesterfield Township, Mount Clemens, is incredible.
We had some phenomenal costumes out there last year.
I just don't know how I
amazing.
feel about clothing of my younger youth being called a costume. I mean, kind of having a hard time with that.
I don't know.
I catch myself too because I start saying costume. I always say costume, and I I change it to best dressed. So
if I only could fit in a Zeke Cavarici suit for my senior picture, would be
get your parachute pants out.
No, I had the mullet, the mustache,
There's a lot of parachute pants there.
the Zeke Cavarici.
I'm googling
high
Zeke
waist.
Cavarici because I have no idea what that is.
Oh, they were high waisted. It was the worst.
Where's Jess when we need her? Shut up,
The
Mary.
worst.
Well, we do have a food court also, so you could buy a ticket for $20, just get you in the door, and $25 get you a food ticket.
Yep.
And that's like 3 different choices between like chicken fingers, pulled pork, and a hamburger, and fries, and a pop.
Something simple, but something to tie you over.
Yeah, and we have a food truck.
Something to soak up all those drink
Lay
specials.
down that carb base.
We have a food truck that will be there.
You might
late
need 2 drinks.
because last year people
food
were looking for
coupons.
food about 12:30,
Right,
1 o'clock.
right.
You know, so we're gonna have food there the whole time. It's a great time for a great cause. We'll have 50/50s. We'll have baskets. Cooper Standard Automotive, they match every dollar that we make on our baskets. It's
For putting these, I mean, just hats off for we've put on that doesn't even fraction what you guys are doing, and the work that goes into these things is obscene.
It's incredible.
But no, it just had for people doing it and giving back. Like I said, we're big fans of that because you can do this and make a ton of money and be gone. Kind of like half the tech conferences that come into this town, right?
Right.
They swoop in from Chicago, they charge $1,000 for a ticket, and then they get the hell out and they keep your money.
Yep.
But no, this is giving back to kids.
No, that never happens.
No, it's not happening in a couple weeks.
We're not getting emails about them today.
No.
Yeah.
And Boatworks Sports Bar and Grill over in.
I saw one of the giveaways is a packed bar,
and that's sponsored by Boatworks. And
what's a packed bar?
It's a
you get to go to a bar that's full.
Yes, your own personal bar.
Oh,
it's your personal bar.
I'm sorry. I was a stocked bar.
Oh, all right. Clarification. I don't know.
It's a stock bar that is sponsored by Boatworks, and that bar has pretty much brought this event to where it's at today. I mean, it's been to day one. Reached out to me. I didn't even know the guy, and he reached out to me on Facebook. Saw that we were doing it, and he goes, my dad. He goes, my dad always gave to kids. He passed away, and I want to follow through his footsteps. And I saw that on this. I saw your event on Facebook, and I'd like to donate to it. Give me a call. And
nice.
He was my first donation ever. It was Boatworks.
See, I think I don't know if you remember. I think I originally reached out to you before we even started talking about it, asking if you needed a DJ for band breaks.
Oh, you probably did.
Yeah, because I've been doing 80s DJing for 20 plus years, more than I like to admit.
Okay,
since the 80s.
Since the 80s, pretty much.
When they weren't cool.
Right, exactly. Right. No, but it's better me going as a participant. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, and Bill here, he's a burn survivor also. Yep. So he's been through it. He's lived through it, and
so it's touching when you've experienced the things that him and I have experienced. You go to the burn camp, you spend the time with the kids, you see the enthusiasm when they come into camp, and all of this that's funded by organizations like ours, and it's like you see just how thrilled they are and the openness that they have when they come into these camps, and it's like it just drives you to do these events like this. It's just phenomenal.
I have a ton of firefighter friends, and they're real big on all those charities.
We have
heartfelt. It's
25 firefighter guys that come in here with the events, with the radios.
Yep.
I mean, they just put on a whole thing, and they just help us through this whole event. And it's phenomenal. I mean, these guys have a lot of care.
Yeah.
It's pretty
all
touching.
Our charities, we ask to have 10 at least for each one to run it the night of. I mean, it's hard to get people to commit and do stuff. We have a group of people.
Volunteers.
We have
it's
Kelly and Randy.
Difficult.
They do a great job putting the baskets together, and the Cooper team, that all that kind of they all help too. And it's just a lot of work for everybody to put it all together, and you got to get people that are committed. You know,
Are you going to have a special Prince retrospective?
Right. You know, I think I've saw some stuff out on Facebook. Both bands have been promoting Prince, and
Dave's going to dress up as Apollonia.
Yeah.
So.
Vanity.
Oh, really?
Vanity. Oh,
Vanity.
sorry. And we would donate. See, here's the thing: we would donate a guest spot on this podcast, but I did that at the last 80s party with Scott, and no one bid on it. I shed this one tear on the outside. No one bid on our
lonely Indian cry.
Yeah, it started bid at $10. No one bid. Like no.
I mean, we even have a photo booth that's free for everybody, just because you're dressed up already. You know, we have it. You can donate if you want, but it's there to get your picture taken. You know, we got DJ Lee again. Hair station was crazy.
Oh, we set up a gaming station that's all Atari.
We're going to put
we're gonna
play
the games
station
and
up too this year.
High score type thing. It's an awesome.
Last year we did it broke like within the first 2 people.
Yeah, we got to rethink.
This year we're going to get
strategy.
a better.
Well, when we were at Fantasticon, I think it was Big Toys brought out a huge collection of games.
All the old arcade games.
They're like on 14 amount. I don't know if you want to give them a call, see if they'd want to do it. Yeah,
okay.
They had a huge setup at Fantasticon next to the Ghostbusters.
Did they?
Oh, at
I was there.
No, Great Lakes Comic Con.
The one at Macomb College.
Yeah, that was GLC.
That's Great Lakes.
That's where I ran into you guys.
Yep.
I got your cards and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Great Lakes.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess, like, how many? I don't think how many people are you expecting to show up for this thing?
Well, the last 2 years, this event's been in 5 different places in 5 years.
We've had to grow from location to location.
Yeah, it's like us on our stupid Pinksville parties. We get it.
It's very stressful to move an event from one place to another because you don't know what to expect. And, you know, we put them in bars. I mean, we were in the VFW Hall, Elks Club in Mount Clemens. Then we went to Total Sports. Then we went to Premier Lanes. Then we were at the Emerald Theater, which was Macomb Music Theater.
Yep.
Well, they closed. We were supposed to be there last year again, but we got our money back, and we ended up at Gibraltar Trade Center, which I wish I would have known about them the year before that.
Sure.
Because they have everything we needed. And it was a perfect venue for our event. It's, you know, we have heat. We're out of the elements. We have a tent. We're completely... It's just a perfect place for the event. It really is. You can go outside if it's nice, you know. We got all the cars that are going to be there.
Like I said, it's a huge like parking. You're never there's no issue.
No issues with parking whatsoever.
The only confusion is a lot of people think that, Gibraltar Trade Center, we're going to come into the Trade Center for an 80s party. That doesn't seem appropriate.
Well, I didn't know, the Frankenmuth one is set up in the beer hall.
So we tried it.
I didn't know if it was set up where they have the gun show part. Like,
you been in that one?
No, it's outside.
Yeah.
It's out in the pavilion.
I was there last weekend.
I'm so sad that I knew about it the day of and I couldn't go.
It's incredible.
Oh, it's nuts. Yeah, I go over there for Oktoberfest.
Rockstar plays there too.
Do they really?
They played there Friday night. Yeah. So there's thousands of people there.
It's a license to print money out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
My parents live in Frankenmuth.
And you know, who knows? I mean, we're looking to grow it to a 2-day if we can. You know, put an 80s fest right there in Mount Clemens. Why not? You know,
we're going to talk to you about
most of the East Side is still stuck in the 80s. So
we all are.
We're going to talk to you 6 months from now doing 80s. No, seriously, we'll talk to you in 6 months now doing it downtown, doing 80s prom, doing it like. Trust me, this has been a brainchild of ours forever. But I'd love to help out the charities and all that.
Awesome.
We'll talk. We'll talk offline.
All right. Sweet.
But hey, Dean, Bill, appreciate it. 80sParty4aPurpose.org.
Well, yes. I mean, and we'll put the URL out there because it's 80, the number 80.
80.
Party, the number 4, apurpose.org. We'll have it out in our links and show recap and all that fun stuff.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Look forward to hanging out with you then.
Thank you.
We'll be back. Scott Kennedy talking all things Penguicon. This is the IT in the D show.
Because it's this weekend.
It's this weekend. We'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hey guys, it's Time Hawk, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the ITintheD show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
Welcome back. This is segment 4. Hopefully you made it with us this far. This is the IT and the D Show, episode 141. We are sitting here broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Captain Soundboard, Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG/BOM/LOST is in the house. Find us online, ITintheD.com
/homeowner
exciting, right?
gentrifier.
Hey, I'm saving Detroit.
For the second week in a row. I'm bringing this up. I'm going to talk about it. No, Dave, you can't do it. You can't say that. Yeah. Second week in a row, Bob, blam. I hate everything about you.
Didn't say anything. Hate you more. Nuri's going to be a City Detroit resident.
Super excited.
I want to hear about this. Where did you buy a house?
University District.
Awesome. What street are you on?
Wildermere.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now everybody's going to go visit your house right now.
Everyone's going to drive by.
Address out.
What was that address?
No, it's the
we'll announce the housewarming party on the show.
No. Nuri, it has been written, it has been done. We've been talking about this forever, that our offices are going to be, we're going to get Greek letters, ITD, out in front. And it's going to be the IT and the D house.
Animal House!
Exactly. I dub when you go in, everyone gets a name. I'm not Flounder.
From now on, your Delta Tau Chi name. Yeah. All right, so the 80s party, which is a good segue because we're going to be throwing a little 80s party of our own this weekend at Penguicon.
You shouldn't come. No one's going to.
Is that what that flyer? Is that flyer was?
Yeah.
Thing? Okay.
No one's going to be there.
I haven't heard of this thing called Penguicon before. What is it?
Well, and I did. So, I've had a lot of people recently after we had John about a month ago. Mm-hmm. I said, dude, what is this Penguicon thing? Why do I care? Why do I want to go? And I'm like, okay, well, here's the deal. Number one, it's awesome.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Is there any way to get a couple tickets?
Maybe.
My wife Carrie, she puts up with me all year doing all this stuff.
How many Cheetos do you need?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I could use another Cheetos bag.
Two tickets for her and I.
But so I did. I published the recaps. The recaps that Bob and I did last year, where it was the Bob the sales guy's first experience with and then me. Basically on full nerd overload for the week. Just it was going back home is what I keep telling people. Right. And as I say, you guys have hundreds of hours of programming, and literally, if you cannot find something to geek out about over the course of that weekend, just die. Just go lock your. Just
you're turning your geek card.
You don't have to actually die, but you should probably never go out in public again because there's so much stuff.
There's something literally for everybody. We have about 500 hours of programming, more or less. Every year we usually have about 100 hours just of tech programming.
Yeah.
And our tech guy, the track head, is an incredible dude with
Mr. Kevin O'Brien.
Kevin O'Brien. He's got a lot of really great connections in IT in general, and we got some people from Red Hat come. Who else comes?
The Ubuntu community managers usually come. We've got folks from Microsoft's open source programs division that comes.
So let's take a huge step back. First time listener, I know Scott, you've been on the show half a dozen times. First time, what's Penguicon? What in the hell is Penguicon? Because Dave and I have been going to hey, you should go to Penguicon. What the hell is Penguicon?
Is that where you look at penguins and stuff?
Right.
Is that new exhit that just opened up in the zoo? No.
I'm embarrassed to say that's what I'm looking at this handsome blue fuzzy man and wondering what Penguicon is.
Well, all right. So imagine that you have.
I'm so going to be isolating a handsome blue fuzzy man.
Imagine that you have a science fiction convention where people may decide to dress up or have a geek prom or party through the evening, and at the same time you have a tech conference that focuses on open source software, as well as just in general teaching each other your skills and expertise. So in the same time, in the same place, you have these people intermingling. You have people with really diverse sets of skills and interests teaching each other about them, whether it's a passion for comics or how to make mozzarella cheese or, making liquid nitrogen ice cream all weekend.
I mean, Scott, this is some people's Super Bowl. I mean, this is some people's... Like I've been waiting all year for this weekend. It's Lord Jesus, baby Jesus is coming down in the manger, and I get to be a witness of it. I mean, what I found, I mean, from my standpoint, right? And when I wrote about in my blog what I experienced is, I've been a sales guy. My whole peer group, my entire life has been surrounded by type A, loudmouth sales guys.
Right.
No. And what I found is, exactly. This,
AKA you.
What I found this cross section of humanity I didn't know existed, but completely was enamored with and fell in love with, like almost immediately.
Yeah.
Just the fact that everyone was so. What's different about Penguicon is that everyone is so thoughtful, mindful about everyone's
of the living force
of everything, and we joke about safe space and the whole South Park thing, right? And we mock it. But it's true, right? ITintheD was created as a safe space for IT guys. That's why we don't let MLM guys or financial advisors or insurance guys, right? It's supposed to be a safe place for IT guys to geek out. Penguicon's kind of like
we didn't
that.
even talk about that. We actually had to kick somebody out of our event Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But Penguicon is kind of that on steroids times 1,000.
Yeah, absolutely. We care a lot about making sure that, if you think about it, by saying we're going to have a convention that has all of these very different kinds of geeks, if you will, people who are passionate about one kind of interest or another, together in the same place, you have to pretty much, by default, say that we're accepting people with different points of view, with different backgrounds. You can make a new tagline, by the way. We let guys dump in girls' bathrooms before Target made it cool. Yeah. You should use that as... that sounds great. I'm definitely going to put that in there.
Oh, that's going in the intro.
Yeah, probably.
We have plenty of... I shouldn't say plenty. We have more... women and minorities and people from different backgrounds as far as gender expression and sexual orientation as part of our convention than most conventions do. And it's not because we have some sort of rule about that. It's really just because you come there, we make clear what our standards are, as far as harassment goes.
What kind of behaviors we'll tolerate and things like that, right?
You don't have me and my college buddies like pointing and calling names.
Right.
I'm just saying. It's
right. We take that kind of thing seriously. And the great thing about it is that people watch out for each other. And, if somebody says something that's, abusive or whatever, half the time it's handled by their peers saying, hey, that's not cool. Didn't you see that sign over there that says, ask before you're being a jerk to somebody or whatever, So, anyway.
I'm having you a shirt made that just says, can I be a jerk to you?
Yeah, right? hey, as long as you ask first. That's all I care about, right?
Blake, if I can be a jerk to you.
That are like what you want your interaction to be with people. Like there's.
Oh yeah, we have these stickers actually. So just like a lot of conventions, we have badges, name tags, And one of the things that people do at local, Michigan sci-fi cons is they collect ribbons. People buy the ribbons in bulk and hand them out to people for whatever reason they feel like it, right? Some of them are silly and some of them are serious. But we have these stickers that help to tell people whether you're interested in talking. So if you're the kind of person who is anxious around a whole bunch of people and are worried that somebody's going to come up and approach you, then you can put like a red star on your badge, and people will know that you really don't want to talk at all. Or you can put a yellow, I think it's a square, on your badge, and people will know that you're willing to talk with people that you know, but you don't want to start up a new conversation with somebody, maybe for whatever reason.
They should have these in the work environment.
They should. Right? Wouldn't that be great?
And then green circle basically means, hey, I love to talk to people.
Or restaurants.
Approach me and we
right?
can start a conversation.
Right. I think we had, 37 green circles on our badge?
Please. One guy actually had made a giant, 4-inch green circle to be like, please talk to me.
So create compound angles of the circles?
Right?
Scott, the one thing that people can't comprehend, that people can't comprehend, I explain to them, I go, the whole 4th floor is remember when you were in college and you had a hotel party and everyone just showed up? I go, the whole floor is that.
About that. Remember how I said nobody's coming? everybody is coming. So this year we have 3 floors of parties happening. And those are people, those are convention attendees who have decided that they want to throw an amazing experience for the rest of the attendees.
But it's not going to be as amazing as ours.
Well, you're part of that. You're part of that.
No, we are. Yeah.
No. That's it.
That's it. Oh, so you guys are renting out the 3 floors.
We're competitive assholes. So there's no way someone's throwing a better party than us.
There are prizes. We have certificates for the best party, best drink, etc. So you better bring your A game.
We got keg beer from Falling Down. We will be making mixed drinks, Health and Mana from Falling Down Vodka.
Awesome. Valentine vodka.
What did I say?
This awesome Love Fest
Jesus
taking
Christ.
It's in Southfield.
The Southfield Weston.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we take over the entire Southfield Weston. And when I say take over, I mean...
Take over.
Of course we
no, it's not like you go to a con like at the Marriott where, there's a lot of people walking around for about 6 hours and then they go away.
We sell out the hotel rooms about 2 months in advance. And there's a hotel across the parking lot that fills up essentially with our people. Every room, every event space, every public space is basically Penguicon. So if you walk down the hallway, you will see tables from our maker market vendors selling art, crafts, and tech that they made themselves.
Yep.
So nobody goes out to Amazon and Alibaba and buys random stuff. It's all things that people, put their own blood, sweat, and tears into.
But Scott, we have bad news though for you.
What?
It's me and Dave's birthday weekend.
What is that? Why is it why are you guys are both same day? What?
Close.
Couple days Tuesdays apart.
So it's it's this weekend.
And what's the bad news there?
That we're going to be even more ultra competitive about our party being the best party.
I'm already talking about
wait a minute.
Free drinks.
Our party's going to be the best party.
We have $2 shots downstairs at the bar.
Can we get all your people into our hotel suite? Then it'll be.
So some of the other sweet things we have going on. Nuri also is our hotel liaison and our man of crazy programming. And this year he created or recreated, since we've had it for a few years, Con TV, which basically means if you're in your room and you turn on to Channel 3, you'll see our schedule. You'll see tweets from people that, hashtag Penguicon. You might see some photos from the weekend or some videos or whatever. I think that's awesome. I look forward to that.
I think the thing I'm most looking forward to, it's a panel that I give every year called Flirting for Geeks.
Oh, yeah.
Which basically a lot of people in our community, and I think that's our differentiating point. I mean, people hear Penguicon and think, oh, Comic-Con. We're like Comic-Con on steroids with actual content. Mm-hmm. It's not a gigantic...
Without the raging flea market.
Right. We're not a nerd market.
No pop vinyl figures?
Well, we have one sponsor.
I'm just being funny.
No. Seriously, we have one sponsor who's up on the second floor, along with our other sponsors who sells stuff like the pop vinyl figures, right? But sponsors are essentially separate. They pay significantly more than our maker market people do for the privilege of being able to show off their wares. Gosh, what else do we have going on this year?
The 80s party in the suite, our suite. I'm just
and we are. I mean, Podcast Detroit. We're coming out.
Podcast Detroit. Podcast Detroit. You guys are renting a suite and essentially providing equipment for other podcasters to broadcast during the event. So I'm sure that we have plenty of people who are going to take advantage of that.
We've got our shows that are showing up, and I know there's at least 6 or 7 shows that aren't our shows.
I think we're on 6 panels.
Yeah, right? We're on,
Yep, we have the Writer's Block this year, which is essentially a Penguicon run bookstore and social space for people who are into books of sci-fi or whatever persuasion, which basically means the bookshelves are going to be stocked with the authors that are present at Penguicon. So if you're, it could be our guests of honor. We have some sci-fi author guests of honors or featured guests, or it could just be authors who are attending who have books and would like to make them available. And the people who are staffing it know the books really well and will help you find what you want. In the room right next door, you can listen to readings and you can get signatures from those people who are there. And that idea of, instead of having a bookstore that just sells every sci-fi book, instead having one that sells the books of the people who are present, that is kind of a Penguicon thing, right? We're teaching each other and we're, as a community, participating. So,
so yeah, I mean, it's 500 hours of essentially attendee generated programming,
right?
You know, and it's
crowdsourced data.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Growth hacking,
but growth, paradigm shifting.
We got the
big data,
yeah,
cloud,
machine learning,
cloud. Well, no, so actually, that's what I was going to say. Is so I mean, it is a so you hear about the books and the cosplay and all that other stuff. It's still a geek thing, like a tech geek thing. Right. So, I mean, isn't the overarching theme this year machine learning and artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence and smart agents is sort of our theme this year. And that means that we kind of, along with the rest of our tech track, we have a section, related to that. One of our guests of honor is Ann Leckie, who is a sci-fi author who writes about artificial intelligence.
It's a Hugo Award winner.
Yeah, Hugo, Nebula, Arthur C. Clarke. Essentially, her first book won pretty much every award you could win in the sci-fi genre. Right? She's on her third, I think, in that series. So you got her, and then you've got Professors Linjia Tang and Jason Mars from U of M, and they're working on an open source alternative to Siri and Google Now and Amazon Echo, essentially, which the idea is that since multiple people can specialize and have their own kind of Sirius, that together that knowledge base can compete with a big giant like Google or Apple or whatever, right? And so you basically have the side of people who are like, we are programming smart agents now, and you have futurists and authors who are like, let's talk about what the implications are for the future, and then you have them on the same panels.
That stupid, creepy Google robot.
Did you see Silicon Valley last night?
No, is it back?
Yes.
Oh, then the TiVo.
They clocked. They clocked one of the deer robots, and he kept trying to kick it over.
Nice.
And the balance going. And he's all. I agree. It was a great episode. Really sorry.
No, yeah.
No, but I always talk about. I joke because I want to go to the parties and I want to hang out, and I love the panels that I go to and all that. But one of the cool things is if you don't want to be loud, if you don't want to be like me, like there's a board game library from hell going on.
Yeah, so we actually work with another convention so that we can expand our own library, and our game track head has a dozen tables out in the front lobby area, and has just an incredible array of games that you can either play during open gaming or during scheduled gaming. And then we have really unique things happening, like one of our sponsors, Liquid Web, is bringing a couple of 3D printers to the game area, and they have a D&D game planned with some sort of a D&D game master who's well known, and they will 3D print out figures to play in the game.
Oh,
right?
Did you get Loot Crate this month?
No, I didn't.
They got a 20-sided die ice cube tray.
Nice.
Just for one, though. It's one a day. I'm like, Dave, we got to have these for. Yeah. I'm like, crap, it's going to take me 3 years to get a bucket full of these.
Right. But along those lines, we also, this year, we've got a reset room, which means that, if you're I've spent too much time around too many people. Maybe I didn't get a room, but I need a place to kind of relax and not hear everybody chattering. Then you can go over to this quiet space and, chill out and restore a little bit before you go back into
You're
panels.
Not allowed anywhere near that room.
I don't want to go there. Anyway. There's a bar stool with my name on it for those reasons.
We have a computer lab this year, which is awesome. So one of our attendees donated a bunch of computers, and then another one of our staffs did a full install of
downstairs.
Downstairs from right here. They did an install of Linux and a bunch of software that people can use both in programming that happens in the computer lab as well as in open time. So if you're like, I want to sit down at a laptop and play around with Linux, then you can go and you can do that right there at Penguicon.
Well, the burn-in was downstairs at Activate. We're bringing out one of the portable gaming units, and
you get to play Mario. I talked to them about games today. I think we're going to have Mario Kart tournament and Donkey Kong, and a couple other ones. So there's going to be 80s gaming going on in my suite.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and I'm DJing. Dave might take over.
Right.
I don't think I'm going to let him though because I'm a territorial bastard when it comes to my music.
I'll be bartending.
Yeah. We're exactly. You bartend, I DJ.
So, I mean, that's free drinks for the night.
Yeah, no, it's not cash. We're supplying it.
You
just come hang out. Yeah,
free drinks.
You go to
absolutely
a tech panel and you talk to a luminary, programming expert.
You got to pay $20 though,
and then you go to the bar a little bit later and you run into the same person. You can actually talk about what's happening in the OS that you are so passionate about or whatever. And I think that's a big difference between Penguicon and like a Comic-Con or whatever.
Well, and so the other thing there,
$20, $40 in order to get 5 seconds of somebody's time.
If that.
Yeah.
Right? At Penguicon, you talk to the guests of honor as if they're any other attendee, because they are. They're a contributor just like you are.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, that's one of the huge differences between Penguicon and damn near any other con that's out there is that it's not, oh, wow, I met so-and-so and, I blew $60 on an autograph and another 40 on a, stupid drop for our show and yada, yada, yada. I mean, that's very, very cool. I mean, anybody that comes to Penguicon is just there.
Yep. As a nonprofit organization as well, every dollar that is spent on tickets essentially goes back into services for attendees, and the like. And we have no sort of VIP passes or anything along those lines. So
no matter how much we keep asking, they won't.
Right? You don't like lines, Scott.
No signing lines.
Well, there are no lines, right?
Right.
No one's going to be charging for appearance fees or anything like that. Everyone who comes donates their time. That's even the super mega folks like when Bruce Schneier was here last year.
Yep.
He came on his own accord. He rented a car and he drove in. And Cory Doctorow, like super famous people, just donate their time to con because everyone is donating.
Yeah,
their
last year, Cory Doctorow was like, I definitely want to be there. I happen to be in Toronto at my parents' place. I am going to rent a car for them, borrow their car, and drive from Toronto to Detroit to come back to Penguicon.
Very cool.
Now, if we can only get Corey Feldman.
Well, apparently he's running a GoFundMe right now that he'll do anything, so we could probably make that happen.
He would do anything for love, but he won't do that.
He won't do that. Yeah. Well, nice. Well, and it is. I mean, I was running through some of the contracts with people at work today. And I'm like, look, it's anime, it's life hacks, it's this, and they're like, whoa, what's the After Dark? What? And I was like, well. Okay, it's not all just the shiny, happy nerd life.
Well, there are people who are passionate about a lot of things.
Exactly. There's some that are passionate about And I said, so let's run through some of those tracks. We've got, an intro to kink. We've got, rope tying 101. And I'm like, there's that too.
So we don't
I found out what polyamory was last year. No idea.
Me
Darshan,
too.
you go find out what that is.
Nice.
He's like, Bob, you don't know. You're good. You stay where you are.
Yeah, we're not, although we certainly don't, say that children can't come, but, we if they do come, then they have parents who watch over them. That's, very important to us. And as the night gets later on into the evening, our programming shifts towards adult-oriented stuff, which doesn't necessarily mean kink or whatever, but late night hacking or
there's even just some podcasts where it's
no, there's the phrase that'll be burned in my head for eternity. Was, hey, I'm going up to my room and getting naked and lighting myself on fire. Do you want to watch?
We're getting a couple free.
Never in my life would I ever thought those words would emanate out of a woman's mouth. And I said, I see you there. Like,
right?
I'm like, light on fire. Like,
what was that room number again?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
room number, floor number.
And that's something that's been going on with the convention for many years. And again, we talked about safe spaces for people, right? So it's a place where people can go and if they want to talk about I think there's like BDSM for beginners or something like that, right? So, I assume that the idea is you walk in there and this person's like, hey, I've been, playing around in this lifestyle for a dozen years. Here's sort of like what it is, so you don't have to, be afraid or think that it's something that you saw on TV or whatever, right? So, but that's, what Penguicon is to you depends entirely on what you want to make of it. If you want to go and experience
there's
programming,
500 hours of programming in 2 days, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to pick and choose.
You do. even if you decide, I'm only going to do one track. Most of the time, especially if it's like the tech track or the lit track,
you're still missing
stuff.
stuff.
You're going to miss a ton of
Is that dude doing the social engineering hack thing again? Because that was freaking amazing.
That Nick Farr you're talking about?
Yeah.
That was super cool.
That was
Nick
my
Farr
favorite
is amazing. Unfortunately, he just moved to Mexico. I'm sure he'll probably be back next year.
He is now working for the cartels.
Exactly.
Next week, you want me to track him down?
Yeah, right. So, this year, I'm really excited, and even though I'm chair and I'll be part of running the event, I also cannot wait to experience the event. Well, that comes very, very soon. But there's a really amazing henna artist. I'm going to get some nerdy henna. There's you can get these badges that are solderable and have like LEDs. Yeah, we do need stinking badges.
Oh, good.
So What about those cups that you were telling me about
all the
earlier?
badges.
Yeah, there's glow in the dark cups from our sponsors are really cool. They're permanent plastic cups you can take home with you, but. And the RFID guys, the guys who you remember we're talking about that, the biohacking.
Stay away.
Get it.
Yeah,
Run, Forrest.
Mark of the beast.
Run, Forrest.
If you want to just use your hand, wave your hand in front of your door and unlock your door. Then,
Yes.
No.
Yes. I'm so tired of learning memorizing passwords.
Right,
Put a chip in my body. I don't care.
Hey, if it works for your dog, it should work for you,
exactly.
right?
Find me when I'm drunk. Just
Right?
I would only use it to
she is.
I only use it to convince my kids that I had
Come
the
to
force.
Penguicon, yeah.
It's kind of like the Ancestry DNA project. There's the government collecting DNA from all the people.
Yeah.
Posing as Ancestry.com.
So, like I said, obviously I'll be, working a lot of the weekend, but I'm also really looking forward to experiencing the con. I've spent a lot of years sort of behind the camera and just sort of making sure that things are happening, and this year I'm going to party a little bit.
Yay. In our room.
Can I ask a really simple question?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the impetus behind calling it Penguicon?
Well, the mascot for Linux
a long time ago,
is a penguin.
Far away.
So
that was it. Okay.
And there was also like a some sort of Monty Python-esque reference. That if you go to our FAQ, it's got the answer in detail.
I'll do that. Thank you.
And what is the
FAQs are
address to
good.
that?
Right? What's that?
Penguicon.org/FAQ.
Yeah, and what is the address to that?
Yeah, it's penguicon.org. If you go there,
Not Penguin Con.
Nope, there's
Penguin.
only two
Con.
N's, not three.
Yeah.
Not .com.org.
That's right. .com is apparently dirty.
A bunch of assholes.
What are you going to do?
And so, Scott, if I wanted to buy tickets at the door, how much is it going to cost me?
Well, it's $60 for the weekend, right? Or if you want to just do Friday night, I think it's maybe 20-ish, 30-ish, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to open in front of me.
And I hear that includes free beer.
That includes free beer, free hard cider, free caffeine.
For 20-ish?
Snacks, yes.
Jeez.
Yep.
Wow.
Let's go.
You got to fight the jackals, though, in the con suite.
Well, our con
I'm not
suite is
even a gamer.
enormous this
20-ish,
year.
I'm in.
So, this year we also have liquid nitrogen ice cream all weekend long. We get these 7-foot.
That was
tall
so crazy last year.
These enormous dewars of liquid nitrogen that have to be like
dewars.
When we wheel them into the elevator, no one can be in the elevator. It's amazing. But
is that something we could have in our show?
Yeah. We work with a gas supplier, and the people who do it actually.
It's me, actually. I'm the gas supplier.
You are
one of the 5-star
gas supplier.
Time to go.
Yeah, but no, the people we have do it are experts.
It's not methane ice cream.
Working with liquid nitrogen and do an amazing job every year. So
I thought it might have been beef jerky in the middle of
$20 covers an awful lot. Honestly, I don't think that there's any convention that offers as much as we do for as little.
Not even a fraction.
No.
Not even close. For as many things as we go to, not even close.
Yeah, we have our Geek Prom. We have our costume contest. Our charity, I should mention real quick, our charity is that we sponsor a different one every year. And this year it's All Hands Active, which is an Ann Arbor hackerspace that every summer has kids in and teaches them how to do science how to write up an experiment, and essentially teaches them how to publish a paper and helps them to get a paper published. Kids in high school, essentially. Right?
See, last year was my favorite charity, I think, of all time.
Enable the Future, we could never.
No, with the kids, the 3D printed arms.
Yeah, the last year
for kids with missing appendages, they would make like Iron Man arms for them. So instead of having this crappy
That's a big deal for
Chubs,
kids.
Happy Gilmore
incredible.
arm.
Last year, Penguicon helped Enable the Future get over 50 3D printed arms to give to children in need across the world, essentially.
That's really cool.
And that's not even including the actual cash that people donated for a raffle.
That's awesome.
This year we're going to have another raffle. Somebody made a quilt from scratch with nerdy shirts, and that's one of the prizes. We have role-playing books. We have books from No Starch Press, which is a tech group.
Yeah.
We have just a bunch of really cool things to give away for people who want to give a little bit more to a charity that's local and really helps kids out.
So the answer to the question is, if you are coming for the weekend, the at-the-door rate is $60. If you're coming for just Friday, it is $30.
Thank you.
Saturday is $40, and Sunday is $20.
That sounds appropriate.
Well, it's your website. So
I know. Thank goodness one of us is on that thing.
I went to the source.
Yeah, right. So, that's it.
But so penguicon.org, we are going to be there all flipping weekend.
Starts Friday at 4 p.m. Our schedule's up on the site.
I'll be there wearing my PBR jacket. I was told that I needed to in Philly, and I didn't wear it, so this time
We went to a bar, floor to ceiling, PBR memorabilia, and Bob did not have his PBR sport coat. It almost caused a rip in the time-space continuum.
I just hope my vending machine T-shirt shows up in time.
Nice.
I don't think you want to overdo it.
Depends where you ordered it from.
Ray John.
Right.
Yeah.
Ray John? It won't be there.
Well, I'll be there in my brown vest and blue hair. And if you see me, please come up and say hi and tell me you heard about us from ITintheD.
Can't wait to hang out. Sounds like we know it's going to be an amazing time because we were there.
I can't wait. I'm not going to sleep from now until then.
Even though Nuri is
hard. It's hard when
Nuri's
you're throwing
guest,
an event.
Nuri's splitting his time and guest DJing in another party, which we have a problem with, but we'll discuss this after hours.
We're docking your pay.
Yeah.
But Scott, appreciate hanging out. Look forward to hanging out at Penguicon.
Absolutely can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah, one of our favorite topics every year. I can't wait till next year already. We haven't even gotten there. But hey, we're going to wrap things up for another episode. This was episode 141 of the IT in the D Show. We appreciate spending time with us. If you made it this far, thank you. Leave us a review on iTunes. We would appreciate it. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. As for Bob, Dave, and Nuri, thanks for hanging out with us. See you next week. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your ass. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
Murphy.
Make the run.
The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Rude.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Fear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just like doing like stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Yeah. Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.